my powder. Where's my powder? Here is my powder. So I thought I would do a little get ready with me. Okay, a little get ready with me. This is just gonna be a ranting video, you guys. I'm just gonna be talking about things that I like to talk about, okay? Because your girl loves to talk. And my camera looks a little dirty, so let me clean you guys off real quick. You got a little something in your face. This year, you guys, I am feeling so good. I don't know what it is, you guys, this season. Not even to say that it's the new year, but this season, I just feel something like God is gonna be using me this season. And a lot of us be like, oh, God is gonna use me, God is gonna use me. And a lot of us are eager to know exactly how he's gonna use us. But at this point, I'm just happy that he's using me, you know? I'm gonna show you guys all the products that I'm using as I'm going along. Focus on me. There we go. I'm just really excited about what God has in store for me this season. And I'm just gonna let him use me in whatever way that he wants to use me. You know, I get, a lot of times, I don't know if it's just me, but I get so hung up on, God, how are you gonna use me? How are you gonna use me? Am I gonna be ready? That I end up actually just missing the blessing in all. So at this point in my life, I'm just taking whatever God gives me. And I don't know what it is, but I'm finding myself putting my phone down and realizing like I want to spend more time with God. It's like this adoration and this desire to know more about him that nothing has been satisfying me. Like, I just checked my screen time and it went down so much, and I'm like, I thank God so much for that, because one thing I really want this year is to hear more from God, is to hear more about, you know, his mercy, and hear more from him, like his voice. I'm going with some concealer. Yo, my camera be acting. Hold up. Come on, focus for the people. Show the people. There we go. I don't know what it is, you guys. And like, I don't believe in New Year's resolutions and stuff like that. So I'm not even gonna say it's that, because God works in any season, not just new seasons. So I don't know what it is, but I just feel so strongly in my heart that something is gonna happen. Like, some type of transformation is gonna happen, you know? And I'm so excited for that. I'm finding myself just kind of like taking time to be still. And that's one thing I'm realizing, is that you don't always have to do something for God to be proud of you. You don't always have to, you know, be loud and do the most. A lot of times God just wants you to be present. God just wants you to be there. God just wants you to show up. He's already showing up for you. He just wants you to show up. That's the first step. We're all so worried about what steps we're going to take next that God is just telling us, show up. Be present. That's the first step when we're trying to figure out if we're going to be able to prophesy and what's our next blessing. And a lot of times a relationship with God can be very selfish because we don't realize that it's not just I want. It's also, let me hear you out. Let me hear what you have to say to me. Let me hear what you are trying to deliver me from. Let me hear how you feel about our relationship, you know? We don't really give God time to talk to us. We say, God, I want to hear you. God, I want to hear you. And I'm a victim of this. I'll be like, God, I want to hear you. God, I want to hear your voice. And then when it's time to hear his voice, I get impatient. And I'm like, I don't hear you, so I'm going to just keep praying. I'm just going to try to speak in tongues. I'm just going to try to put worship music on. But sometimes we're just putting too much around ourselves. We're not allowing ourselves to hear him because we're doing too much. Like, I think it was, I don't know exactly when it was. I think it was like last week or so. I was watching this sermon. Put the sermon in the description if I can find it. And what the sermon was saying is that a lot of times we try to guilt trip God into talking to us. We'd be like, we do the crying, we do the, God, you don't hear me, God, you don't love me, guilt trip so that we can try to hear God, and we start crying and we start trying these tactics, technically, to try to get God to hear us. But all God is saying is be present, you know, be still. And all I heard in that moment was, be still, I am God. I turned my phone off. And then I heard God say, just turn everything off, even the lights. I'm like, how is this gonna add to the experience? Turn the lights off. And I waited and I waited and I waited, you guys. And in that moment, I realized that God was already with me. And it's like, a lot of times you guys, I don't know what's going on. Like, the devil is trying to work overtime, and it's not happening, okay? Like I was saying, like, what was I saying? I forgot what I was saying. Lord help me. But a lot of times God just wants us to be present. You know, be still. And what I was saying is that God was already present. I was trying so hard to get this crazy, like, I am God reaction that I didn't even realize that he was already in the room. That he was already present. It's just not in the way that I wanted it to be present. I wanted him to be present. So a lot of times we have to evaluate our faith. You know, we have to evaluate, like, do I actually believe in God, or do I just want to see signs and wonders? You know, and I'm realizing now that the way that God is presenting himself is a way that he knows he can present himself to me. You know, because there's times that I hear words. Like, a lot of times I feel like God comes to me in words and scriptures. But there's times where I realize that God is very gentle with me. Like, I feel like God sees me as his actual daughter. Like, that's really how I see it, you guys. Like, I really feel like God comes to me as his daughter and he's gentle with me. But I'm expecting this grand, vast, like, crazy audible voice, and sometimes I feel like God's voice to me comes in whispers, so I miss it a lot of the times because I'm expecting something different. So because he's not like yelling at me, sometimes I don't hear it, but the whispers is him actually talking to me. So it's just crazy, you guys. I've just been feeling so in tune. I've just been feeling so good. I've just been feeling like my purpose is just here, you know? Like, I really do feel like deep down that my purpose is to just spread the gospel and just show other people how good his love is and how gracious his love is. We don't experience that a lot in this life. Most people talk about like sex, money, drugs, and it's just sickening. I realize my appetite is changing. My appetite is changing. And that's for a lot of things. Like, my appetite, I want to start eating healthier. I want to start reading the word more. And I love watching YouTube, but I'm finding myself being very bored. Like, I love, and that's not all the time. It's just sometimes, now in the season, I'm finding myself just kind of being like, okay, there's nothing to do. Let me just open my Bible. You know, and not saying that I never thought I would get to that place. I just never thought that I would just open the Bible because I'm bored. Like, oh, let me just get a word from God. And it's such a good feeling, you guys. I lost my powder. Powder, where's my powder? Where's my powder? Here It's my powder. I just feel good, you guys. And I also feel like because my husband and I have been focusing more on God and just being more in tune, everything is just flowing. And I'm also realizing that the enemy hates a married couple that prays together. Like, the spiritual warfare that's connected to a strong couple that prays together, y'all, ridiculous. But that's just a sign to me that I'm doing something right, you know? And I don't take that stuff lightly anymore. I don't. And I don't know what it was the other day. I'm not going to speak too much about it because that's between me, God, and my husband. But the other day, me and my husband were praying, and I just felt this anger stir inside of me. Like, the devil really thinks that he can mess with my marriage. That's not going to work. And I just felt this passion. Y'all, the devil's working overtime right now. But we're going to get this word out, okay? We're going to get this word out. Ain't nothing stopping me, okay? So, yeah, the devil be working overtime. And that's what a lot of us don't realize, is that we have so much power over the enemy that the enemy knows we have power. God gives us authority over the enemy. In any situation, we have authority. But the enemy tries to trick us into thinking that we don't, and tries to play that scare tactic and put fear into our hearts. But my favorite verse, and I told you guys this before, is 2 Timothy 1 verse 7. And I always remember that verse because it's like, you have to remember that God made you with certain characteristics, and there's characteristics that God did not make you with. So 2 Timothy 1 verse 7 is, for God did not give me the spirit of fear, but love, power, and sound mind. And that's always running through my mind. Like, whenever the enemy tries to play these fear tactics, I'm like, he's trying to make me scared, but I'm strong. Like, God did not make me with that spirit to be fearful. So I rebuke that in the name of Jesus. And whenever you have like this feeling like of fear, of whatever kind of feeling you're going through, know that that is not from God. God made you to be strong. God made you to be just powerful in all, you know? He gave you authority. And the enemy knows that we have authority, but a lot of us don't know that we have authority, you know? So this video is just a little rant to all my women, to all my ladies, to all my guys. Ladies, pray over your house. Men, pray over your house. Everyone pray over your house, realistically. Everyone should be praying over their house. This is your, just like your body is your temple, this house is your temple, you know? And you want your house to be filled with peace and be filled with the Spirit. But also, ladies, I mean, like, I think this is a season for women to start realizing that we have so much power. And the enemy knows that we have power. Like, us as women, as daughters in Christ, y'all, we have so much power. It's crazy. Our generation is very corrupted, as we all know, in a lot of ways. I don't even have to get into it. This is very fast-paced. And I'm just not with it. I'm not with that fast-paced lifestyle. Like, I don't. Maybe when I was 16 in high school, I just didn't know anything, and I just wanted to, you know, do stupid things that didn't feel my spirit. And to all the men out there, you guys are, I tell everyone this all the time, you guys are kings. Don't let the enemy tell you any different. You know, we gotta start realizing what we are doing, realizing what we're saying, realizing that our tongues are powerful, what we listen to is powerful, and start realizing that we're God's children. We have so much authority. We just don't use it. We use it on things that will waste our energy and waste our time. Like the Bible verse says, is life not all but food and clothing and what you're gonna wear? Like, okay. Maybe that will work. Yeah. So, I don't know what it is, you guys. I'm just feeling very, very happy and content with my spirit, you know? Even like the way I'm approaching this YouTube channel now is like, it's totally different. You know, it's like, I'm seeing this more as a blessing not to take advantage of, and I'm just gonna let God work his way through this channel. Whatever he wants me to do is what I'm gonna do. How are you guys? What's going on with y'all? What's been going on with you? What's been going on with your boo? Just want to check in on you guys. A little life update, a little bit of what's going on with me. I'm just happy. I'm just happy. I feel like God is working in many ways at the same time, and I'm noticing all of it, and I'm just grateful. Very, very grateful. So, see you guys in the next video. I hope you guys have a blessed day. If this is your first time watching my channel, welcome to the channel. Subscribe, become a part of the family. And yeah, stay tuned for more videos, and I'll see you guys in the next piece.